Tonight, the Embassy Theatre is rolling out the red carpet for a very special Kiwi film, Workmates. It's a brand new romantic comedy drama from writer and star Sophie Henderson and director Curtis Vowell. You might know their previous hits, Fantail and Baby Done, but this time they're taking us deep into the heart of Tamaki Makoto's theatre scene. In Workmates, Sophie plays Lucy, a fiercely devoted theatre manager whose best friend, Tom, played by Matt Whelan, and her partner in chaos but also on stage and off. But when an accident threatens to close their theatre for good, Lucy discovers just how far she'll go to save the space and maybe her friendship too. It's heartfelt, it's funny, it's got the unmistakable Kiwi humour, and it's also a love letter to basement theatre where Sophie once worked in real life. We've got Sophie, Curtis and producer Sam with us in studio ahead of tonight's screening to talk about friendship, love, and sometimes why you've got to break the rules to make something happen. Kia ora, everyone.
Kia
Welcome into
ora.
Reaction.
Flawless introduction.
The best one I've
Flawless.
ever heard.
What an intro. God, we don't need to
Unbelievable.
say anything.
Yeah.
I know.
Let's just cut to commercial. My
Beautiful
God.
voice, everything.
I've laid down the floor for the brief.
I love it. I
Wow.
love it.
And what a special moment to have your premiere for Workmates at the Civic Theatre for Whānau Marama and to share it with the community that you made it for. What was it like in that moment to see your film up there on stage for Civic Theatre?
Yeah, it was pretty once in a lifetime. Pretty overwhelming. Really special.
Didn't you say it was better than your wedding?
Yeah. Like me and Curtis are married, and on the night Curtis was like, "Yeah, I think this is better than our wedding." It was like our film wedding.
It was like a wedding with 2,000 people you didn't know quite as well as at your real wedding.
Although there were lots of people there who were also at your actual wedding.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's
Probably
true.
most of them.
Yeah.
Thanks for
People
the support.
laughed more than I thought.
Yeah.
Like, we have been calling it like a romance, not so much rom-com, but there was a lot
Yeah.
of com.
There was
I was
heaps of
surprised by the com.
A lot of com.
That must be such a nice feeling, especially when you go back to edit the film and you've worked on it for so long and then you watch it, you're like, oh, I knew that joke was coming up. But then to hear people laughing in the crowd, you're like, okay, it landed.
And they laughed
Yeah.
in places that I didn't think they would laugh. And then I was like, why are you laughing? You're going to miss that line. You're going to miss that line now. My beautiful line.
We needed you to hear the next line. It's
know.
really important.
You missed a crucial bit of story.
The whole film's not going to work now.
That's what I kept thinking. It's so bad.
Because Sophie, you used to work at Basement Theatre, where
I
a lot of the
did.
story was
Yeah.
born out of. So what was your time like working there?
Yes, so I've brought Sam to this interview because Sam is who I used to run the Basement Theatre with.
We worked together for 5 long, arduous years.
And the film is based on our time working there, and not the romance. That is not true. That is fictionalized.
Okay, if you say
You're
so.
disgusting to me.
You are disgusting to me. Stop saying that. People don't understand what that means. People think I'm a creep or something.
Sorry.
Did you
It's
both
a line
have
in
to,
the movie.
It's a line in the movie. Did you both have to break a lot of rules while you worked at Basement Theatre?
No, we did
Oh,
absolutely everything
yeah.
was above board the entire
Whatever.
time.
They broke every rule in the book. But we do need to always do a disclaimer.
Basement's legit now.
The basement is not like that anymore. But back
Yeah.
when these guys were running it and we were all hanging out there as little kids, having a lot of fun, putting on shows, there were a lot of rules broken, which are also made it into the film. Like,
We did put ice cream containers over smoke alarms.
No one was harmed. No one was harmed.
We gaffer taped over exit signs
We
so you
did.
get a proper blackout.
We
A
ran
full blackout.
we ran punk metal gigs where one of the guys in the band, so we would like have a theatre show and then we'd put a gig on afterwards to just like double up on the bar takings essentially. And one night they had this death metal group and one of them worked for Rent-A-Kill and he'd been collecting rats, dead rats that he'd frozen, and then he used them as stage dressing on the set. So we had a theatre that smelled like dead rats the next day.
We have literally just had this conversation today at Active
What?
that there were dead rats on a stage at Valhalla a few years ago,
Wow.
and it was the worst smell ever.
Oh, the smell.
yeah.
The
And
smell.
if they get trapped in the walls, it's,
Blech.
that's there for months.
Theatre rats.
Theatre rats.
And I heard that
They're
when
quite
you
wanky rats, eh? They're in the corner bitching about everybody else.
You can tell
Just
the
gnawing on
difference.
drywall and
You can
talking
tell the
shit.
difference between if it's rats or mice because mice don't smell.
Oh.
Yeah,
Really?
they don't leave
Oh.
that stench that a rat does in the walls. Yeah.
How
There's
long
a-
have you been an exterminator, Kurt?
0800
I
rent a kit.
really
Curtis's
tried,
side
I
hustle.
tried to bring it back to theatre and then you just put it right back,
Right back to
this.
rats.
I only want to talk
Right
about
back to
rats.
Well, we're actually here to talk about Workmates. And I heard that it started off as actually a film that you thought you were going to do on your iPhones. And then it became into this full production. So how did it get from the iPhone to this now film that's in cinemas?
That's right. So I wrote it in a really long Auckland lockdown when all the theatres were dark and on their knees, and all my friends in the theatre world were out of jobs. A play I was doing was not going on anymore, and so we thought, let's write a film about this place that I loved so much, this job that I had that was so special to me, and we were just going to shoot it in the theatres while there was no one in them, while they were closed, on iPhones. Me and Sam were just going to play ourselves, and it was, that was where we started. We went to the film commission for some money, a little bit of money, and they were like, come on guys, do it properly.
Come back for some more money.
Yeah.
Ask for
This
more
is a
money.
good
Like,
idea.
we really
Yeah.
like the story, and the budget should match that. Yeah.
So we did.
Yeah.
And the philosophy of the film didn't change as the production got bigger?
No, we brought everybody across from the theatre to do all the production jobs. So, like the production designers, Dan Williams, who is a theatre person, all the actors were people that we either saw in plays or had worked together in plays. Literally every single actor is like a theatre kid.
And Matt, who plays Tom, he is a theatre actor with Sophie. They've been in numerous plays together. So
And Chris Parker, who's in it, like he sort of got his start really at the basement. I mean, I'm not taking credit for Chris, but let's take credit for Chris
take
Parker.
some credit.
Let's take some credit for Chris Parker. No, like
we made him the man he is
He
today.
was called Chris Parker in the script.
Yeah,
until
originally.
like a few weeks beforehand.
and then he was like, I don't really want
it
it to be my own name. And we were like, that's fair.
So I called
just
him
joking,
Pete
Chris.
Harper, which is very similar.
The same, essentially. Yeah.
We love Chris Parker. We actually had him on the show a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, what a
and I
dreamboat.
thought, what a perfect person to be shown in basement theatre because it feels like basement theatre was a non-negotiable. You had to have it in the film.
We
Yes.
did.
We did for no other reason than budgetary. Like, well, they were so accommodating and allowed us to do basically just take over the theatre for the entire production period. We not only took over that space, but we took over a rehearsal space that they ran next door. That was like our unit base, like costume, all that sort of stuff. So they were essential, but also the theatre is such a character in the story. Like when Soph wrote the script, she wrote it with the architecture of that space in mind. So you're thinking about where they're traveling from one space to another. So this scene takes place in this room, and then the next they're moving to the next room. It just wouldn't have worked to shoot it anywhere
We knew
else.
where the upstairs
And
was, the storeroom, the trapdoor, all those kind of locations, which
the
is
trapdoor.
it's essential for the film. If once you watch it, you'll understand what we're talking about
And we
without
were
giving too
so
much
good.
away.
And something that never changed was like making it as authentic as possible.
Yeah,
Like
totally.
Curtis would always be like, more real, more real. I don't want to see any acting.
That
And
was-
that was
that was
part
my
of
direction.
That's
Just-
how he directs.
Just yell out in the corner, more real, more real. That was it.
It's a real George
Sorry.
Lucas style, isn't
Quite
it?
good directing
Faster,
style.
more intensity.
Yeah, especially when your husband's telling
Yeah.
you to be more real in a relationship.
Yeah.
I
That
don't
sounds
believe
It
you.
is
I
a
want to
bit
see the
weird.
chemistry.
I don't believe it.
Those two are hot together, though. You guys are hot together.
Oh my god.
It's true.
You also managed to get inside the historic old St. James Theatre
that
in
was awesome.
Parmakemakoto.
That
Was
was
it
difficult.
quite dangerous trying to shoot a film inside
It
there?
was. I remember we did a tech recce and we walked in and there was like mushrooms on the back of some
That
of the
was a
seats.
shoot day. We got.
No,
we
but we went in
stopped.
before and we were like, guys, we need like some health. We got some health and safety people through, and we all needed like these high grade masks, and we had rules
Not
of
the
like
actors.
Yeah, not the actors.
every half hour we had to like take a 5-minute break to get out of there because it is unfortunately such a devastated. Like
It's worse
sad,
than I imagined.
sad
It's so
venue,
sad.
you know, and it needs a lot
I
of love
s-
and money to.
Yeah.
It's coming back, though. It's coming back.
Is it?
Is
yeah,
it
it's coming back. It's
definitely?
being rebuilt.
I hope so.
It is. No, it is happening, guys.
It's like stepping into a ghost story.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
And also developing this story further, Sophie, did you decide that from the beginning, because you were so close with the experiences and writing it, that you had to play the character Lucy?
I think it was always gonna be cheaper for me to play her, and I was Curtis. Well, I don't know if it was Curtis, but I was like, I'm gonna play it as myself, like as close to myself
Yeah.
as possible. And her actions are not mine, and I promise I'm not that bad. But yet, like I'm wearing my own clothes, and I
Character
was,
called Sophie right up
Yeah.
until like about 3 weeks before production.
and I think I was. At a certain time in my life, I was as devoted to that theatre as she was, and so there's a lot of similarities.
And she's a really good actor.
She is.
That she'll never really admit. And she always says she like hates acting and I don't ever want to do it anymore. But
That's
She's
a loss.
fantastic.
That's a loss for everybody because she's a brilliant actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you
Just play myself.
identify,
Trick myself into it feeling real.
Yeah, like lots of
That's
people
it.
try to do that and they're shit at it.
Easier said than done.
and when you do identify so closely with a character, does it ever become challenging to really examine who they are, like their flaws, their sadness, without putting too much emotional pressure on yourself?
Yeah. I think when my script editor made me change the name, and that really freed it up. And it let the character grow and breathe, and now the story does sort of belong to someone I made up, and I could make her worse and naughtier, and it wasn't a romance to begin with, so that really changed in the development of her. Like I really fought hard for this to be a friendship because it was based on us. For ages, I was like, no, they're just friends. Like, it's never going to go that way. And my script editor was like, you've written it as a romance. You just need to push it a tiny little bit further, and it'll be a
Just
bigger
make them
film.
kiss.
Just make them kiss and see what happens.
She was like, there's a reason this genre doesn't exist.
Is that because
I still
you
believe the
had-
friendship movie can work.
Yeah, yeah. Is that
We're gonna
because
make the
you
friendship
had,
movie.
Matt Whelan on the project, because you'd worked with Matt so many times and you had this incredible on-stage chemistry with one another. Do you think having Matt in mind made you think, actually, we can have a romance here because they're so great?
Who would like to answer this?
Okay.
Yeah, go on, Kurt.
So, if you wanted a little scoop, these guys were both going to play it at the start. And once we got to that stage with our script editor, we realized actually we need to tell more of a romance storyline. And these guys were just too close as friends that we needed to recast one of them. And
It just made more sense for me to be recast.
that's
like,
actually what happened.
Genuinely, because it was like we got really close. We were talking about
greenlit.
We were greenlit. This was November.
We didn't audition.
We didn't. This is November. We're
No
shooting.
test, no screen test.
Yeah. Okay. It's my first time producing a movie. I didn't know you had to do that stuff.
Sorry.
You guys had made movies before. Could have given me a heads up. So this is November, and we were rehearsing, and we were like, "Is this working? I don't know." So then we got in this awesome acting coach, Brita McVeigh.
Wellingtonian.
Wellingtonian. She's going to be there tonight. Looking forward to seeing her. She did a couple of days of workshops with us, and at the end of that, I think both her and Sophie were like, "This isn't working." And then when Sophie was like, she rang me that night and was like, "I don't think this is working," and I was like, "Yeah, I think you might actually be right." So then it was like, okay, we're
either going to change the script
Yeah.
or recast.
We have to either change the script and make it a friendship story, or we have to recast the movie. And I was like, I think it makes more sense for us to continue with the thing as is, but it just makes more sense for us to do a round of casting which involves me. So then we did do auditions, and I auditioned. And even from the audition, I mean, I didn't watch the tape. Did you watch the tape?
Yeah.
I mean,
You did watch the
Yeah,
tape?
I did.
Oh,
well,
well, there
Sophie
you
was
go.
there.
Oh, yeah, you were there.
But yeah, so it ended up being Soph and Matt, which
Yeah.
we're really happy with because the story changed and we needed to have a romantic.
We just didn't have any
Comedy.
heat, mate.
No, we didn't have any heat.
But for you as well, Sam, that's a very brave step
I
to
know.
take, to know
It
that
was.
you
That's it.
are so closely connected to this story, and it's something that you and Sophie, outside of the movie of
Mm.
Workmates, you made Basement together,
Yeah.
and then stepping away and taking that production
But-
role and seeing the story unfold in maybe a different way than what
Yeah.
you expected.
He really showed me who he was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
but-
he had so much grace to do that and actually did something that was better for the film
Yeah.
than, like egoless, very selfless to do that. Oh, no.
Oh, here it comes. Like
no,
the
no.
thing was
Oh
is
my
that
God.
like I'm not going to front. Like that was an incredibly difficult decision. It was very painful. But
as it was for us.
but it was also the situation of like I was like we've put so much into this. We're 2.5 years down the track at that point. We've so many sleepless nights, so many rewrites, so much effort has gone in. We've got so many people lined up. I was like, I haven't done all of this to make a film which is just okay. Like,
And the
let's
film was going to live and die on
live
the
or die on that
chemistry.
relationship and on the chemistry
And
of
where
that
do you want
relationship.
them to be together?
So you have to kind of just go, what is the best thing for the movie? And I think anytime you're doing any kind of artistic project, you have to be asking that question all the time. Like, what is the best thing for the project? And the best thing for the project was for Matt to play that part, and for me to just, I was already a producer, just to do that full time. Yeah.
That's no easy choice either, to actually be able to look at the
wouldn't
project
recommend
outside
it.
of yourself. Because when we're in it and we're so connected to it and we love it so much and you're acting, it's really hard to see how it could change and how it could develop for something better, maybe with you not in it. And so it sounds like you were actually able to look outside the project and look at it inwards and be like, no, I actually still live here. My story is still going to be told, but it's just not going to be through the lens of exactly my body or my eyes, you know?
It's so
That's exactly
beautiful.
right.
That's
really
really
well put.
beautifully.
So nice.
Yeah, I
We
have
need to
And
nothing
I
to
can
add.
record
hear,
that
and
and
Sam
use it.
is in the movie. Like, that character is him, and I can hear your voice in it, and it is our story, and
Yeah.
like that's really special.
Except for the romance.
Apart from the romance, yeah.
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 But it's great that we can all still sit here now and be all, at peace and happy with it and proud of it.
I wouldn't say I'm at peace.
Oh,
no.
Matt Whelan, he's not invited.
I'm
to
gonna
the
run him over
embassy.
with a bus.
Why isn't Matt Whelan here?
He's
The fall of Workmates at Radioactive today.
Yeah.
You did want to scoop.
I did want
Maddie's
to
not here
scoop.
because Matt has got not one but 2 films showing at the Melbourne Film Festival, so he's already in Melbourne watching the premiere of his film We Bury the Dead, which is tonight.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Okay, and
yeah.
we go to MIFF next
Next
weekend.
week.
Yes, yeah, that's really exciting because one thing that's really beautiful about this film is how intentional you've all been with the emotions and also characters' behaviours, balancing the more funnier and sillier moments with the serious and darker scenes. And Curtis, when you started bringing Workmates to life, how did you make sure that that fine line between drama and humour and also that bit of discomfort came through on screen?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I think all of our work that we've done has always tried to ride that line of comedy and drama, and I love it in the film when people are laughing and something sad's just happened, or vice versa. So I'm always looking for those moments. Sophie and I, throughout the whole pre-production, into the shoot, and then especially in the edit, we were always playing around with exactly that. And
Can't muck around with tone, hey.
that's literally what you're doing, is trying to always ride that nice fine line of comedy and drama. And I think you can't have one without the other. I think.
But I reckon that's life, though.
Yeah.
Like, how many funerals have you been to where someone will tell a joke and everyone just cracks up?
Yeah.
Like, I think the idea that comedy and tragedy or drama or like life is happening all around you all the time, and I think that is one of the things that you always that I think we've always tried to make. I've certainly tried to make it in my work. It's like it's always when you're at your lowest that someone will say something that is the funniest thing you've ever heard. You know?
When I was my very saddest, you just said to me, "Do you want to go to Rambo's End?" It was one of the funniest things anyone said.
I meant it. I was ready to
know,
go.
but I was way too sad. I was way too sad.
Okay, yeah.
It is brilliant how laughter can really change
Yeah.
the tone of how we're feeling. And even when we're uncomfortable, like you said, at a funeral, or, you can be in a situation where you feel this like deep sadness. I sometimes will laugh or smile because it's almost like my body's reacting. It doesn't know how to do, but
Yeah.
it knows it should do something.
Yeah.
And so we always go towards humour.
And that's totally natural.
Yeah.
And I think all my characters are that. All of them,
Yeah.
like, whether it's a comedy or not, they're kind of light and use humor as a coping mechanism.
And it's surgical. Like, we are looking at it to within the, taking 1 or 2 frames off
blink.
just to
Yeah.
let that joke land, or let that, pathos just play out a little bit longer. So, yeah, it is. It's a real science to try and get it
And
right.
do you think you're good at it because you come from theatre and you've experienced, like, having audience and
Yeah.
understanding comedy that way?
I think when you're in front of a live audience, that's when you can get that interaction and
Because
understand where the jokes are landing. And
You're editing in real time as an actor on stage. Like,
and
you
we've
have
all
to
got acting backgrounds.
Yeah.
We all
All
went to
theatre
drama
kids.
school. We're
Theatre.
all really theatre kids.
Theatre rats.
Theatre for life.
Yeah. So we
Chewing on the drywall and bitching about everybody.
and dying and stinking.
Yeah, just stinking up the place.
And that's why you brought everyone together from your theatre community
yeah.
to this film, because you
Yeah.
really wanted that live essence of what it's like on stage to be
Yeah.
projected in the cinema.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, tonight you're here, August the 15th, Workmates will be shown at the Embassy Theatre. What do you hope that the audience take away when they go and see this film?
I hope they just tell all their friends to come and see it when it opens general release on the 21st of August.
Someone said to me after the premiere, they said that it felt like falling in love, which is so nice.
Yeah,
and
that's
I hope
pretty
that
great.
people have that experience. Someone else said, I felt nostalgic for a job I've never had.
That's nice.
Isn't it?
But I think
I hope people laugh and cry and then come away with something a little bit deeper. I think there's some messages in there which are quite important. And once you watch that, you'll understand what I'm trying to get at. But I think it is a rom-com, but it's also a romance, and it's also a drama.
It's just about how hard it is to make art at the bottom of the world for no money, and also how fun that is, and what a privilege
how
it is.
extraordinarily fun it is to have a life in art, and how painful that is as well.
And it's truly a love letter to all of us creatives that work in the mahi and the community of theatre and projecting like we do here music on stage. It's one of those things where a lot of people don't know what goes on behind the scenes, and you've really displayed that. So I thank you for putting this film together. And
it's absolutely dedicated to all the people who behind the scenes make art happen.
The
All
unsung
the
heroes.
weird, freaky deaky people who really dedicate their lives to believing in something that's bigger than them, and to something, but also something that you can't really touch. Like the idea of talking
Magic.
about magic, but not. Is this your card?
Magic.
The magic of theatre. Or just the magic of the arts, the magic of sharing something together, like a communal experience, like watching a film or watching a band or listening to a song. It is that thing, that crazy chemistry that happens between people. I think that's what the film's about. That's what the film tries to showcase.
It's great that
Making something from nothing and pretending together in the dark.
It's great that the basement still carries on now, and you guys have moved on past it. I think there's like a generational. I think also like Radioactive. Did you say it's the birthday today?
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday! Happy birthday,
Radioactive.
We love it.
But it's after you move on, someone else will take over your position, and you'll still hold this place in your heart for this place, and
you'll be complaining about how it's not like it used to be. And, oh God, when I was
back
there,
in
it
my
was X,
time.
Y, and Z.
and the film is kind of about that. Yeah.
It's a nice time capsule. Well,
Yeah.
ngā mihi, thank you, Curtis,
Thank you.
Sam, and Sophie for coming on the show this morning.
Kia
Thank
ora.
you for
Thank
having
you.
us.